Alright, concrete sleeper development. The concrete sleeper that has taken place for the various railway systems within unit based on the following concept. The design, the RCC pre-stressed sleeper, similar to the shape of the side of the wooden sleeper, the block type of the RCC sleeper, the connect with the side steel tie bar of the pre-stressed concrete block, the steel and articulated concrete tie of the pre-stressed, the pre-tension, post-tension, the type of the concrete sleeper, the force concept, the design, or base for the development of the recent day concrete sleeper, the advantage, the disadvantage of the concrete sleeper. They have the following advantages and disadvantages. Advantage of the concrete sleeper being heavy and lend more strength and stability to the track and are especially suited for the lightweight resistant light welded rails due to the greater resistance of the bulking of the track. The concrete sleepers, elastic fastening allow the track to maintain better the gauge for the cross level alignment. These also remain to retain packable very well. Concrete sleepers become very or flat bottom are best suited with the modern methods for the track maintenance such as the MSP mechanical maintenance, which have their own advantage. The concrete sleeper can be used with the track circuited area if they are poor conductors of electricity. Concrete sleepers are neither inflammable nor subject to damage by pests for corrosion under the circumstances. The concrete sleepers have very long lifespans, probably 40 to 50 years. As such, for the rail sleepers, renewals can be matched with major economic advantage. Concrete sleepers can in general be mass produced with a local resource. The disadvantage: handling laying concrete sleepers is difficult due to the large weight of the mechanical methods involved with considerable initial expenditure for having been adopted. The handling them. The concrete sleepers are heavily damaged at time of the derailment. The concrete sleepers have no scrap value. The concrete sleepers are no suitable for the better packaging. And so concrete sleepers should be preferably mentioned by heavy on-track tampers. Design consideration. Two different concepts are being adopted. The German and French engineer of the design of the section for the concrete sleeper, the circumnet. The Germans have adopted a beam type sleeper that conserves the sleep of the rigid stiffness, the continuous beam support on the firm, the unyielding bed. The French engineers, however, conserve the sleep of the two separate blocks with the connection with the tie bar, resisting of the resilient ballast bed. The former design the base for the sack load, while the later theory caters for a slightly different settlement of the ballast support. The calculation based on the later theory with the quite complicated with the difficulty. Sleeper design based on the concept has evolved mostly on an empirical basis. The force of the factors considered with the design of concrete sleepers are as follows: forcing acting on the sleeper, the effects of the geographic conformity, including the shape, size, and weight, effects of the characters of the fastening, use, provision of the failures against derailments. Alright, need for concrete per sleeper than India. India has the chronic state short of the wooden sleeper over the last few decades. The wooden sleeper, the various species of the Indian have a short lifespan with about 15 to 20 years. And in view of the drawback of the wooden sleeper, the cast iron and steel for the sleeper that have been extensively the consumption of the metal steel at present quite high in Indian rails, consumed about 40% of the entire pig iron reduction within the country. This is need to reduce pig iron consumption of railways so that the iron can be made available to large quantities for divine efficiency purposes of other heavy engineering industries. In addition to the high-speed welding rail installation, long welded rails have recently been introduced in Indian railways. The sleeper of the long welded track has been heavy sturdy that should be capable of offering adequate lateral resistance to the track. Wooden steel sleepers would be found totally lacking in the suitable requirements, both consideration-led investigation selecting suitable concrete sleepers for the use of Indian rails. Loading conditions adopted by the Indian Railways. The concrete sleeper has a design research design standard organization wing of the Indian Railways follow the differential load of the conditions. The broad gauge sleeper with the 15-ton vertical load with the rail seat with a vertical load of 15-ton rail seat plus the reaction center of the sleeper equal half of the load of under the rail seat. The vertical load of 13-ton and lateral load of 7-ton directed towards the outside of the one of the rail area only. Sleeper is designed to resist the bending of the 1.32 tons meters at a rail seat of 0.5 tons meters center of the sleeper. The meter gauge sleeper, the vertical of the 10-ton of the rail seat plus the reaction sleeper that equal to half the ton of that under the rail seat. The vertical load of the 8T-ton at the rail seat at the 4.5 lateral force direct toward the outside of the one rail only. 7-8, the various type of the concrete sleepers, pre-stress, pre-tension, post-tension, and two blocks of being manufactured Indian railways have been described in table 7.6. Different types of concrete sleepers being manufactured in the Indian railway. The type of sleeper, the monoblock, twin block, rail section 6052, 6090, 90, 75 R, 60R, standard drawing number RDSOT, sleeper design PDS 1412, post tensioning type the RSC 16, PCS 17, PCS 12, PCS 11. Or your monoblock pre-stressed concrete sleep with the pandoral clip with the monoblock of the pre-stressed concrete sleep with the width similar to the German block of the P58 with the type of the sleep with the overall length of the 2750 with the millimeter weight with the 270 kilograms of prop. The sleep with the edge trapezoidal cross sectional with a width of 154 millimeters for the top of the 254 millimeter bottom with a height of 210 millimeters with the rail with the sheet of the can with the 120 is provided with the top of the surface with the slipper of the distance with 175 millimeters for the either side with the center line with the rail to cover the area of rail fitting of the sleeper pre-stress. Alright, pre-stress, there it went. The electricity. Sleeper pre-truss at 18 high tensile rail strength of 3 to 3 millimeter diameter, 12 to 16 millimeter diameter, mild steel tank. The initial pre-stressing the steel 100 kilograms centimeter squared. 28 crushing strength of the concrete is normally less than 525 kilograms centimeter squared. Your Pandora clip 167 millimeters gauge and rubber pad monoblock pre-stressed concrete sleeper. The rail is extent resistive of 130 to 130 millimeter rubber pad with the grooves lying on the parallel access for the rail. The fastening provided with a 52 kilogram rail or Pandora clips held with a malleable cast insert, the shown in figure 712. This is insulating liner, groove rubber pad, and Pandora clip MCI inserter. Your PCS 12 and PCS 14 later type the pre-stressed concrete with sleep with the U for the big broad gauge routes with the 52 kilogram routes for the elastic rail clips for use the 60 kilogram rails and elastic rail for the clips. The PC 14 sleeper has been standardized for the Indian rails. PCS 12 mono concrete block sleeper units in millimeters 254, 144, 185, 50, 235, 270. It's important to mention that both the type of the sleepers are shown in figure 713 and listed in the file. The length of 27 to 50 millimeters, 267 kilograms, reinforcement and 3 by 3 millimeters diameter strand. The concentration controlled quality minimum 28-day crushing strength of 525 kilograms centimeters squared. Each strand to be tension initial tensile force of 2,730 kilograms. The monoblock post-tension type of the concrete sleeper of the broad gauge. The factory of the Indian manufactured the post-tension for the type of the monoblock concrete sleeper was set with the Northern Railways Allabad in collaboration with the M. Dickery of Woodman, West Germany. The factory, which started the production in 1981, planned the capacity to manufacture 300,000 concrete sleepers per year. The talent two feature is the post-tension type of the concrete sleeper that are following. Size of the sleeper length of the 27 to 50 millimeter rail, width of the center 160 millimeter top to 200 millimeter bottom, depth of the center of the 180 millimeter, weight of 295 kilograms. Design features initial pre-stressing force of 37 tons, final pre-stressing force is 31 tons, minimal concrete strength of 28 degrees, 550 kilograms centimeters squared, minimal strength of the concrete at the time of applying pre-stress, 450 kilograms centimeters squared. The use of the concrete ties using the post-tension method has been not successful in any railways that manufacturers has been stopped. Alright, the monoblock PRC sleeper, the MG PCS 17. The design of the monoblock PRC sleeper, the PSC 17, has recently standardized the MG sleeper, the trapezoid cross-sectional similar to that of the broad gauge sleeper. The concrete should have the 28-day comprehensive strength of 525 kilograms centimeters squared. The salient feature of the sleeper that are following the figure 714. Figure 714 shows the PCS 17 concrete sleeper, the meter gauge unit with the millimeters, 2,000 millimeters length with width of 158.5 kilograms, reinforcement 12 by 3 by 3 millimeter diameter strand, HGS wire tension, and internal force of 230 kilograms. The PRC sleeper can be used with the 90 or railway, the elastic railway clips glass filled with the nylon liners, GFN 66 on sole plates. The two black RCC sleeper, the broad gauge. The design of the two black of the RCC sleeper, the broad gauge that has been standardized by the Research Design Standard Organization for drawing minimum number of DSC T2521 with excessive travel for the Indian Railway. The generally say scarcity of the wooden CTS9 sleeper for you for the broad gauge yard. The new RCC sleeper will easily situation in a big way. Some of the silent features of sleepers are follows. Consider low speed with the yard line with the less impact of the effect of the rail seat with the design load has been taken only with the 10 T without any lateral thrust. See size of real set Set, seat at the top of the width, bottom width, depth of 22 centimeters, 32 centimeters, 17 centimeters. Overall, the length of the sleeper is 147.5 centimeters. Weight of the sleeper is 170 kilograms. Main reinforcement: each block at the top of the 5mm, 8mm steel bar. At the bottom, two 8mm diameter steel bars. A fastening U of the steel clip and the spring washer with a screw fitted to the polyethanol dowel. Are your two block concrete sleeper than the meter gauge yard? The two block concrete sleeper than the meter gauge yards have been recently developed. The two sleeper that consist of the two cement concrete weight blocks, each weighing 336 kilograms, consisting of meters MS reinforced about 7 kilograms. To the RCC sleeper blocks connect with the angle that about tie bar of about 55, 50, 66 millimeter section of 1.5 millimeter length with the rails fixed to the sleeper blocks via either clip by or bolt arrangement or polyethanol dowels. The rail screw the pad provided with below the rail seat to provide the cushioning. Your monoblock versus the two-block concrete sleeper develops with advantage and the disadvantage of monoblock and two-block concrete sleeper. Some of the advantages these are enumerated below. Monoblock sleepers give you the better longitudinal lateral stability with the track compared with the two-block concrete sleepers. The monoblock concrete sleeper through the concrete mass likely to longer working life compared to the two-block concrete sleeper. The connection with the tie bar later cave with the tie bar is weakened and has the comparative short life due to the corrosion, etc. The monoblock creator sleeper requires heavy capital expenditure for the manufacturer, being pre-stressed reinforced concrete unit compared to the two-block sleeper with ordinary reinforced concrete sleeper that is the monoblock pre-stress concrete sleeper with a crack with a developed condition with the overstressing likely to close down the return normal condition, whereas the two-block sleeper such crack will continue on until reopened. The monoblock sleeper is likely to become center bound until the two-block sleepers. During derailment, the rough handling of the tie bars of the two-block sleeper get deformed, thereby affecting the gauge. In two-block sleeper, the two blocks are not likely to result on the ballast in each way of each of the rails properly inclined with the vertical, the feature of which would affect the alignment of the gauge for the track. 7AT sleepers on the turnout. The railroad of the turnout mechanical installation enabled the train to be guided from the one line with the rail tracks to another. In this section, we discuss the sleepers and the design of the turnouts. Pre-stressed concrete sleeper for the turnout. Due to the actuate shortage of the wood, especially with the long temperature required for the point for the crafting of felt necessary to develop the PCRC sleeper for the use of the turnout. Pressure control concrete, pressure stress concrete. Turnout the track circuited with the research and development safety operation organization developing a PRC sleeper design rectangular cross section July 1986 with 1 and 12 left-handed turnout with 7,330 millimeter curved switch for use of the 52 kilogram rail. The PRC sleeper to turn out the manufactured with the PRC sleeper factory at Kalispera with the sleeper on the trail with the Northern Railway is present. Salient feature on the sleeper that are following the sleepers have rectangular cross section. There are 74 sleeper the compromising 21 sleeper and switch assembly, 3 intermediate sub assemblies, 18 cross assembly. Slubs are variable length and design. There are 16 different turnout sleeper designs. These sleeping requirements require the number of the fittings different from the existing standard. The grooved rubber pads are a standard 4.5 millimeter thickness, but are varying in size. The new fan-type concrete sleeper for the turnout. The pre-stressed concrete sleeper discussed above is suitable for only for 1 in 12 turnouts. The RDS has developed a new fan-type sleeper that can be used from 1 in 8.5 as well as 1 in 12 turnouts. The new design concrete sleeper that has the following characteristic cross-section of the sleeper. The new design is trapezoidal instead of the rectangular early design. The layout of the sleeper is fan shape, same with the design of the sleeper that can be used with the right hand as well as left hand turnouts, rotating them 10 degrees in a horizontal plane. Part of the approach of the sleeper 54 concrete sleepers are used in 1 by 8.5 turnouts, 83 concrete sleepers are used in 1 and 12 turnouts. The concrete used in the 28-day crushing strength of 600 kilograms centimeter squared. Sleeper laid perpendicular with the main line of the switch portion and the lead portion. Sleeper are laid equally inclined with the straight and turnout tracks. Cross portion sleeper laid perpendicular to the bisecting line of the cross. The sleeper is designed with the switch portion that have the dowels and fixing slide share with the help the screw with the sleeper's head perpendicular to the main line, and therefore they can be used with both left hand and right hand turnouts. The mark of the RE is provided with the fan shape. The PRC turnout sleeper at one end of the sleeper should be also laid with the end of the RE marked as well as laid on the right hand side. Alright, laying out the concrete sleeper on the turnout. The turnout location for the concrete sleeper to be laid with the shoved and cleaned with the ballast cushion with 30 centimeter thickness. Extra ballast should be available on the size of the areas that should be good drainage. Depending on the availability of the space, the various and other site conditions, one of the following three methodology of their combination could be adopted: laying of the concrete sleeper turnouts. Some of the turnout on site with the assembling, replacing the during of the block period being by either the cranes or rollers carrying the part of the assembly turnout on the diplomatic lorries, placing them during the block period, replacing existing turnout sleeper by sleeper aspects of the switch portion, which can be assembled as one unit. Assembling layout should normally be done by using the crane or suitable capacity after removing the old turnout sleeper. The ballast bed at a level of the bottom of the concrete sleeper. The turnout should be evened out. Vibration rollers should be employed with the extent of the possibility of the compaction of the ballast bed. The turnout concrete sleepers can be maintained in any of the following ways: using points of the cross tamper, using the off-track tamper, lifting jacks, measured shovel packing. In case of emergency, such derailments which sleepers may be damaged temporarily with repairs should be carried out without interfacing a wooden sleeper pad, permitting the traffic with restricted space. Damaged concrete sleepers are replaced with a fresh lot of the turnout concrete sleeper. The permanent pressure is early possible. Wooden sleepers, any other method of damage, sleepers are replaced one by the newer turnout sleepers. 783 manufactured pre-stressed concrete sleepers can be with the pre-tension of the post-tension of the top of these pre-tension sleeper. The force is transferred from the concrete with the metal fins through the combination of the bonds and positive anchors. Bolt transmission length with the loss of the pre-stress, the vital effect of the design to determine the quality of the manufactured post-tension, the type of the sleeper, the force transferred over the positive anchors. Monoblock and pre-truss. The monoblock concrete sleepers are generally manufactured with long line method. The method is time 30 to 40 molds, but the casting concrete sleepers are kept in about 100 to 120 millimeters length of the long casting bed. The high tension steel wire with the diameter of the 5 millimeters are anchored to the end of the bolt between the tension towers and molds. Stretch and specially designed tension method. The tension strength in the wires should not exceed 70% of the specified ultimate tensile strength. High quality concrete pre-designed mix then filled with the molds. The newly laid concrete, cement concrete, is thoroughly mixed with a consolidated means with a high frequency vibrator. The concrete is curved after 3 hours, preferably by steam. The wires then stressed. The Hoover's method of de-stressing the wires are cut. The line is released. Sleepers are further curved by submerging them into the water tank for a period of 14 days. Alternatively, the sleeper can also be steam cured. Another method adopted sometime with the manufacturer pre-stressed the monoblock concrete sleeper is a short line method, the stress bench method. This process involves using a short stress benches accommodating the 4 to 5 sleepers at the ends of the bench to serve with the anchor plate for the compromised and iron frame to bear with the initial pre-stressing force. The benches are on wheels and are mobile. With the pre-stressing is also done with the case of the long line method. The concrete vibration is however done at a fixed plate with the stress bench being moved into the position one after another. The leads are better quality and control with the controlling mixing the compaction. Generally, after the casting the benches are taken in the steam chamber, the further curing overall turnaround period about 24 hours. Steam curing cycle about 16 hours. The method of manufacturing gives the quality of better result has been adopted by the MS Gaia Engineering Works, the PV Limited Edition Gaia, MS Concrete Products Construction Company, Xi'an. Pressure-treated monoblock concrete sleeper that can be manufactured by the individual mold method. This method is generally used with the restressing transfer of the concrete, those of the bonds, the positive anchors. In the case of the pre-stress pre-tension sleeper, only the best positive anchors. In the case of the post-tension sleepers, the mold over the pre-tension tension type of the design to make the initial pre-stressing force ends with the sturdy there molds that they use in other systems. The molds can adjust one of the 3 sleepers. They move along the assembly line of various tasks, such as cleaning molds, inserting the high tensile strength of the wire, the pre-stressing the wires, fixing insert with the concrete vibrating steam curing, and then molding are carried out with the manufacturing bolts. The system involved the greater degree of the automation, very yield qualitatively better results, require the least amount of the workforce in the Indian factory, the equalizing use of techniques that have currently gone into production, secure a band and bar for the your 2-block. The manufacturing 2-block concrete sleeper is similar to that of an ordinary precast RCC unit. The sleeper is manufactured in a mold, which is necessary reinforcement tie bar placed in the position. Concrete design mixed and poured into the mold and vibrated. The mold is removed after the concrete is set in this box or cured with water for about a period of 14 days. The post-tension tension. Post-tension type of the concrete sleeper is primarily manufactured with the concrete sleeper plant with the Albad with the bird design submitted with the DW Germany, which was approved with the Railway Board Special with the patent design of the DW Live with the use of the high seal rod with the U-shape known with the hairpins, slits, and nuts, and these processes involved with the installation and developing of the product with the technology post-tension concrete sleeper that has become outdated over the time, and the sleeper the manufacturer of the concrete sleeper note the sleeper plant Albada can be quite an uneconomical. The rejection rate has also been quite high, and the view of this manufactured concrete sleeper the post-tension method has been on top of the CBSP Albad since July 1995. 784 testing. In addition to the control checks, the slab of the material, the manufacture, the process of the concrete and finished sleeper that are subject to the following periodic checks the test. Minimum 28-day comprehensive strength of the test cube should not be less than 525 kilograms centimeters square of the sleeper. The occasional batch for the minimum of the crushing strength falls below 525 kilograms centimeters squared, not below the 490 kilograms centimeters squared. May be subject to any passing increased frequency of the testing static bond bending strength. Minimum comprehensive strength of the test cube with the concrete tensing should be not less than 370 kilograms centimeters squared. The modulus of the rupture should be specified with the concrete bridge code. Dimension tolerance surface finish for the sleeper should be checked with the using suitable templates and gauges. Cracking failure moments for the sleeper should be tested as the following sections applicable to suitable loads. Positive cranking moment of rail seat bottom. Negative cranking moment of the century section top. The positive cranking moment of the century section bottom. Failure moment of the rail seat bottom. 4. Abrasion resistant test in the concrete sleeper is subject to the vibration load under the specific conditions. After 300 hours of the operating time, the losses weight in the dew of the abrasion should not be more than 3%. 785 concrete sleepers weigh about 215 to 270 kilograms. About 6 to 8 persons are required to handle one sleeper. The mechanical handling of the concrete sleeper is therefore desirable for safety purposes. Alright, 786 prohibited is location of the concrete sleeper because of their high weight of the rigidity structure. They are not suitable yield field formation. Fish bladed joints placed with the uniform packing that cannot be achieved with the concrete sleepers are such. Normally laid at only those with the long welding rails are permissible. The sleeper should not be laid at the following locations: new formation and banks unless specially compacted any rock cuttings except for the minimum depth of 300 millimeters of the ballast cushion has been provided. Unbalanced lines in the yards curve the radius rated is less than 500 meters. Trouble some few portions near asphalt, ash pit, other locations where drivers habitable drop ash locations where excessive corrosion is expected, or on unbalanced bridges on each arc bridges where the height between the arc and the bottom of the ballast section is less than 1 meter. On the slab, the bridges where the ballast condition between the bottom of the sleeper top of the slab is less than 300 millimeters. With a fish blade track, this should be used only with long welded rails. Fish blade joints, the concrete sleep track where unavoidable should have the wooden sleepers at joints. Alright, 787 laying. The concrete sleepers are heavier and such more manually handled, but the concrete sleeper is not difficult, but is not only difficult but generally damaged with the sleeper as well. The exemptional case without the manual handling, including the manual laying with the concrete sleeper, is restored after taking the adequate precautions. In case of the mechanical relaying, the system normally in 2 portable cranes. The use of Indian Railways rail is done in using prefabricated panel. The existing rail panel for the remove of the guns retrain the ballast is leveled up. The prefabricated panel are laid with the help of the proportional cranes for the following operations are involved: the preparation of work on the side, the relaying, pre-assembly of the panels and base, post actual relaying operation, post relaying work. The full details of manual relay method as well as the mechanical relay system are given in chapter 21. That's what I want to get to, the mechanical relaying system for the laying the ties. 788 maintenance. The following maintenance of the points needed for the attention maintenance of the concrete sleeper. The concrete sleeper should normally be maintained with a heavy on-traffic tamper with a short spot. Potentially the MSP of the off-track tampers may be used. Size of the chip of the MSP should be 8 millimeters. 3 millimeters is required. On 30 sleeper space, this should be open at the time between the 2 folded box track switches of 30 sleepers, the length of each within the large, long weight welded rail track exists. Concrete sleeper should be compact, welded uniform to give it a good rigidening surface. The century bounding with the monoblock sleeper. Complete sleeper should be avoided from the central 800 millimeter sleeper should be not hard packed. Both ends of the concrete sleeper should be periodically painted with anti-corrosive paint to prevent corrosion with the exposed ends of the pre-stressing wires. In this case, the 2 block sleepers of the tie bars should be examined every year if any of the sign of the corrosion is noticed. The affected portion should be painted with the improved point. mechanical equipment should be used for the laying of the maintenance of the concrete sleepers as far as possible. Wherever the causal renewal of the concrete sleepers to be done, normal precautions followed by the long weighted welded rail track should be taken. Elastic rail clips should be driven properly to ensure the leg of the clip that flush for the end of the insert. Overdriven, underdriven should be guarded against the cause of the eccentric loading of the insulation, resulting in their displacement and their variation with load. Vigilant watch for the keep to ensure that there are no creeps occur with any of the portion of concrete sleep to track there is no excessive movement near the switch expansion joint. It must be ensured that the rubber pads are there in correct position whenever it is found with the rubber pad that is developed in permanent set there should be replaced with new ones. So examination can be done with the time of the de-stressing toe load can also be used. The loss of defect from the ineffective pads. Nylon composite insulation liners used in pandrol clippings should be examined periodically. For signs of cracking and breakage, the adequate care should be exercised with driving the clip at the time of the installation to prevent the damage. One of the biggest problems regarding the maintenance of the concrete sleeper track of the elastic rail clips gets seized with the malleable cast irons and insert not only during the regular maintenance but also during the de-stressing and the other incidental work. You run with the following remedial processes are suggested. At the base of the depot, all elastic rail clips and the malleable cast iron insert should be thoroughly cleaned, but the grease should then be applied on the center leg of the elastic rail clip and the eye of the malleable cast iron insert. There should be driven into the place at the time of the assembly of the surface span. During the surface of all elastic rail clips must be taken out from the malleable cast iron inserts cleaned from the wire brush and emery paper, especially on the central leg. The eyes of the malleable cast iron inserts must be also cleaned by any of the debris, rusted air, metal material. The center leg of the ERC elastic rail clip should then be covered with a good quality grease. The inside of the malleable cast iron insert should be smeared with the same grease before the treat with the elastic rail clip are driven back. There's also repeated this has to be repeated every 1 year in corrosion prone areas. The maintenance check of the concrete sleepers is given in table 7. Alright, your location of the concrete sleepers, the sleeper spacing ballast section handling of the concrete sleeper, the laying of the concrete sleeper, the maintenance of the concrete sleeper, the maintenance of the fastening of the concrete sleeper in the track. 7, 8, 9, derailment. Derailment is a kind of accident that occurs with a real vehicle mount with the railhead that is extensive damage to the track and general sleepers in particular. Following action should be taken eventually with the derailment, eventuality of the derailment with the track of the concrete sleepers. With the damage of the concrete sleeper is not extended, it is possible to allow the track to pass the restricted speed. Suitable speed restrictions should be imposed after the significant damage of the track. Sleeper should be replaced as the case for the casual renewal while the track, taking all precautions after all the damaged sleepers are replaced. The affected portion as well as the portions of 100 meters on either side of the adjacent that should be distressed and normal speed should be restored after consolidation. When the damage to concrete sleeper the extent of the track is distorted in such a way that it's not possible to allow the traffic to pass even at restricted speed, the affected portion should be isolated with introducing buffer rails. Either end of it, the distorted track should be removed and replaced by the track laid on the single rail panels using available rails and sleepers. The section should be converted into long welded rails using concrete sleepers, taking the usual precautions laid down in the long welded rail manual. Alright, 7, 8, 10, concrete sleepers on Indian Railways. Indian Railways modernization track of the big way to meet the challenge with the heavier traffic of faster wheat. The monitoring track consists of the long welded 52 kilogram and 60 kilogram rails, concrete sleepers, elastic fittings that can meet with above the requirements. Pre-stressed concrete sleepers are most economical, technical, best suited for the high speed of the heavy traffic density that provide the suitable track structure but requires less maintenance after the maintenance of the concrete sleeper. The track should however be done usually using track machines only. It has been proposed that the concrete sleeper should be provided on all important routes for the Indian Railways. Adequate capacity is developed for the production of these sleepers to meet all the requirements of the Indian Railway. During the 2003-2004, 886 million concrete liner sleepers higher ever production, 343,426 sets of concrete turnout sleepers were produced. They indicate the wooden sleepers after the main line has been completely stopped, and emphasis being laid on the concrete sleepers on the turnout. Indian Railways is the world's leader in manufacturing concrete sleepers and presently manufacturing 60% of the total concrete sleepers in the world. The concrete sleepers are heavily bright in future of the Indian Railway. Alright, sleepers. Support railways transfer of the live load of the moving train for the ballast and with the formation of the wooden sleeper. The benefit they are satisfy almost all the requirements of the ideal sleeper. The scarcity of the timber has left the development of the metal in the concrete sleeper. The concrete sleeper that have high strength with a long level and long life and more suitable for the modern track than Indian Railways are developed and designed for pre-stressed concrete sleeper that are being extensively used on all important routes now. Chapter 8, Ballast.